I a phony for exploiting the ever-living...
Hi friends, I recently stumbled upon this Casey Neistat video that really made me think about our relationship with social media and what does it mean to cultivate a healthy relationship with social media as people who are seeking to leverage its power for good without letting our mission be co-opted and diluted as a result of some of the acute and novel dangers that present themselves in our modern digital environment. So I want to take a moment and share a few clips from this Casey Neistat video in which he reflects on the 800 straight days of vlogging that he committed to and what did that mean for his life.
The thing that occurs to me the most was the headspace required to come up with a fresh video every day. And what I mean by that is, like, as long as you're focused on what is my video today, then are you ever really like present in what's happening in your actual life?
So this concept of presence and awareness and intentionality is really interesting because it gets to the heart of what does it mean to use social media for good and how do we leverage it as a tool, as a means to a positive end. The danger with digital media, the danger with YouTubing and with creating content is that it's very easy for the end result, the engagement and audience response to ultimately dictate the decisions that we're making. I think this is especially prominent with vlogging, as Casey mentions here, but I think it's applicable to all sorts of disparate uses of digital media. And in order to reclaim control of social media, I think we have to restore an intentionality behind our use rather than letting the results or the impact co-opt that original intention and design for our work. And I think this applies to art more broadly, but it's acutely on display here in the social media environment that we find ourselves in.
But what about when it's like a date with the wife? What about when it's like a vacation with my family? You know, then it becomes a very different consideration. Like, I don't know, a couple hundred episodes, maybe for the first year, it wasn't even a consideration. It was just go, go, go. Like, everything is content. Get it all.
What he just said, everything is content, just go get it all. That's something that infects content creation, I think, as a whole. And that's where this concept of exploitation, I think, really comes into play. You know, don't exploit your life for content. What does that mean? I think it means well, among other things, I think that it means don't let this insatiable desire to create end up derailing your life. And I think it can. So ironically, the very positive and wonderful benefits that originally attract us to these creations can actually become co-opted by the environment in which we're creating. And I think that's a danger to avoid. And it's something I think that we can learn here from what Casey's saying.
Absolutely. Now, looking back at it, you realize, like, if you externalize, like if you put out there in a video, if you take from your inside and put it out into the world, every aspect of your life, you're kind of left with like, what am I? Am I a phony for exploiting the ever-living shit out of my life?
This is a very candid and helpful look at someone who spent 800 days turning the daily contents of their life into content that was consumed by other people. And as we were mentioning earlier, the tendency is for this creative mission to be co-opted by the end result. So this is where one of the dangers reveals itself, in that the content that we create that is ultimately consumed by other people can sometimes become content that we create for other people, seeking to elicit a particular reaction, seeking to entice a particular action. And this isn't inherently wrong, but when it's done at scale, as Casey here notices, it can actually deteriorate our sense of self, our sense of identity, our sense of creative purpose. And that is something that we artists, we creatives, anyone who is seeking to use social media, digital media for good, I think should pay special attention to. But of course, I don't want to paint this apocalyptic image of digital media. I love being on YouTube. I love making videos. I'm making a video right now before I even head into work. And I do it because I enjoy doing it. And I know that Casey enjoys doing it. So if you're a creator listening, please know that this is not all doom and gloom about YouTube, but rather about leveraging YouTube for your own creative purposes rather than letting the negative sides of YouTube culture co opt your creative mission and ultimately lead at the worst possible level to exploiting your very life and deteriorating your sense of self. But as Casey here comments in the next clip, he also misses many of the aspects of this pursuit, and with the bad comes plenty of good.
Towards the end of life. Big part of the reason why I stopped. And I don't miss that. But there are aspects of the daily vlog game that I miss so much.
So why did I make this video? I made this video because I want to encourage you. If you are a creator, if you are seeking to leverage the power of digital media, regardless of your digital media of choice, for sake of pointing people to truth or promoting goodness or displaying beauty, all of which are laudable ends, it's important that you are able to not only maintain your intentionality as an artist, but also your sense of identity and your sense of purpose. So this video is meant to encourage you to cling to that purpose, cling to that intentionality, and whatever you decide to create, make sure that you're creating it for the purposes that you set out to, rather than letting the ultimate result or impact or reception overly influence your own input. If you enjoyed this video, please say thank you by giving it a like, by sharing it with someone who might benefit from it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, all those things. I know it's probably tedious and annoying to hear that time and time again from all of the YouTubers that you watch, but it actually helps us reach more people because it helps signal to YouTube that you actually want to see more of my content. So please do let me know in the comments if this is something that you enjoyed. I would definitely appreciate the feedback. I hope you got something out of this, and I hope you have a great day.